Good morning, students. Today we are going to take up the first chapter from your literature book, that is An Uncomfortable Bed. The writer of this lesson is Guy de Maupassant. Okay, before we begin with line by line explanation of the chapter, let me give you a short introduction of the speaker and what is the chapter is all about. So now what happens, the speaker in this chapter is a kind of, a pessimist. A pessimist is a person who always thinks negative about others. He always has a feeling that his friends would, play a practical joke on him. Now they might do something to him, or, they may play a prank on him. His thinking was always that. And because of this thinking, he could not enjoy his stay with his friends. Because of this pessimist nature, because of this negative thinking, he lands into trouble. Now, what is that trouble? He himself created that trouble, or his friends put him into the trouble? That we are going to learn. Okay? That we are going to learn after reading the lesson. So, before we start the lesson, children, you must always have your textbook with you. Open your textbook, okay, whenever you're watching this video, so that you can go through line by line and understand what I'm explaining, okay? And also be ready with your pencil, and when I'm reading the line, I'll be telling you the important words. You need to just underline those words because I'm going to explain you the meaning of those words. Okay. Paragraph 1. One autumn, I went to spend a few days with some of my friends in Picardy. So here, one autumn. Autumn is a season, right? Okay. That comes before winter. And his friends invited him, to spend few days in Picardy. Picardy is a region in northern France. Okay. My friends are fond of practical jokes. I do not care to find the people who are not. So he says that his friends, they are very fond of practical jokes. They are fond of, playing pranks on friends. Okay. So in second line he says, I do not care for the people who are not. He feels maybe everybody loves to play practical jokes. And he says, I don't want to bother myself. I don't want to know the people who do not play practical jokes. Okay. So this is his feeling. He feels that everybody loves to play practical jokes. When I arrived, they gave me a grand reception, which made me rather suspicious. So, he says that when he arrived in the Picardy, okay, all his friends welcomed him with a grand reception, and he was quite suspicious. He was like, oh my God, my friends were never like this. How come they became so sober? Suspicious here means doubt. He was having a doubt, like why his friends are welcoming him so grandly. Okay, he was having a doubt. Is everything all right, or are they going to play a prank on me? So here you can see his negative thinking, his negative imagination is coming up. Okay, he was having a doubt Why are they welcoming him so grandly? Okay. He says that my friends, they cheered me when I came. They embraced me. Embraced me means they hugged me and made much of me. Made much of me means they gave him, too much of attention. He thought this attention is really too much. They might have not given me this much attention, he thought. He felt that they are giving him so much of importance because they are going to, make fun of him. They are going to play a prank on him. Okay. So he felt that all this grand reception, grand welcome, the way they were embracing him and all, he felt that they are going to play a big prank on him at, his expense. His expense here means at his cost. Okay. I said to myself, look out, old ferret. They have something in store for you. So, the moment he got the grand reception from his friends, he got so suspicious. So he tells himself, look out for yourself. Look out is a phrase, which means be watchful. So he tells himself, okay, be watchful, you old ferret. So here, old ferret. Old ferret is a cat-like animal which haunts mice or rat, you can say. So here, the writer, he calls himself an old ferret. They have something in store for you. He feels that his friends have something in store for him, that they are going to play a big prank on him. So we come on to the paragraph 5 now. During the dinner, the mirth was excessive. So while they were having the dinner, the mirth here means amusement. Their entertainment, enjoyment was more or excessive. Excessive means too much. So everybody were like having lot of fun. Yeah, they were enjoying a lot because they all met after a long time. And seeing all this, the writer felt this is something extraordinary. There's no need for, such amusement actually. This is something which is not required at all. There does not seem to be reason for so much mirth because he felt that there was no reason why they were so happy. There was no need for them to be so much happy. So he was finding all this amusement artificial. He was thinking that they are all so happy because they are having, certainly they are having a big prank to play on him. So it is anticipation, means beforehand only they are enjoying thinking about the prank and thinking about how the writer is going to react. So this is just his imagination. Okay, children. So the entire evening everyone laughed in an exaggeration manner. Exaggerated means too much. Okay, there is actually no need of such exaggeration, he thinks. Just as a dog can smell whatever he's hunting, I can smell a practical joke in the air. So he says, just like how dog can smell, something fishy. The same way he says that I can smell that some joke is there in the air and some practical joke is going to be there for me. Okay? And he wanted himself to be alert. But what was it? He was not able to find out. He was not able to locate what is exactly going to happen. I was watchful, restless. So he says that I was very restless as well as I was watchful the entire time. He was waiting for something to happen. That's the reason, till now nothing had happened. And that's the reason he was so restless. And at the same time, he was watchful. I did not miss a single word or a meaning or, a gesture. So he was being extra, extra careful. He did not miss a single word, its meaning, or what they were trying to say, the hand gestures, the postures they were sitting. He was so watchful and he was keenly listening and observing each and everything his friends were doing. Gestures means the actions that they were doing. Okay, he did not miss any of them. Everyone seems to be a suspect, and he was doubting everybody. Suspect is a person whom you doubt. So you can underline that word and write, suspect is a person whom we doubt. And even I looked distrustfully at the faces of other guests. So here he was doubting each and every one, even the guests. He did not have trust on anybody. The hour struck for going to bed. Hour struck means the time came for going to bed. That means, going to sleep. The whole household accompanied me to my room. Why? All his friends, they accompanied him to his room. They all came to his room, near his room, to, tell him good night. And that made him more suspicious. Why are they behaving in this way? He thought. They called me good night. That means they bade him good night. I entered my room, shut the door, and remained standing without moving a single step, holding the candle in my hand. So now he was all alone in his room, and he was very, very much careful. Now inside the room he was, extra cautious. He was extra careful. He was, holding the candle in his hand. He was now looking for the things, whether everything is placed, properly or not. So he thought, till now I was not the victim of their prank. So now I have to be more careful. I have to be more watchful. And he now every step he kept with very care. So holding a candle in his hand, this means this is a setup. This is a time where there was no electricity. Okay, you can think of the year 40s or 50s. Okay. I heard people laughing and whispering in the corridor. So naturally his friends, they came to drop him, and while they were going, they were just laughing, enjoying, they were having great fun and they were going. But this made him more, doubtful. He thought, no, they are laughing because they know that something is going to happen in this room. Okay. Without doubt, they were spying on me. He was now sure. He had no doubt that they were spying on him. Spying on him means, spying means keeping a watch. Okay. Now he was very much sure that all his friends are watching him and, they are spying him. Right. So I cast a glance around the furniture, the ceiling, the hangings and the full floor. So the first thing he did after entering the room is he cast a glance. That means he looked, each and every corner very carefully. He examined each and everything, right? Just to check, to make sure that everything is fine. Okay. I saw nothing to justify suspicion. So everything was in place. There was no reason to, doubt anything. The room was perfectly all right. right? Nothing seems to be justifying is suspicious. Okay, nothing seems to be, doubtful. I heard persons moving around outside my door. He says that he heard people, moving around outside his door. Maybe they were moving just to reach out to their rooms. Okay, maybe they were just walking around. Yes, but he felt that they were waiting for the prank to happen. I have no doubt they were looking through the keyhole. So now just look at his doubt, children. Yeah, he was thinking that his friends are waiting outside. Okay, and also they were peeping through the keyhole. Children, sometimes it happens with us also. Even we think, negative things. Yes, maybe somebody is peeping through the keyhole. Somebody, might be having an eye on us. Yeah, here the same way the writer was thinking. So now let's move on to the next page. Okay, here an idea came into my mind. So he got an idea. My candle may suddenly go out and it may leave me in darkness. So he felt that his candle, anytime it could go out, that means it could burn out. Okay, so there will be total darkness in the room. So before something like that happens, I must do something, he thought. Beforehand, I need to be ready. If something happens, if my candle, blows out, I need to be ready. So I went all around the room and lighted all the candles. So what he did? He went all around the room. He lighted all the candles that were there in the room. Okay. After that, I cast another glance around me without discovering anything. Second time, again he examined the room without discovering anything. He could not find anything in the room. So I moved with short steps. So he started walking around with very short steps. He was taking short steps because he was very careful. He had a doubt that if I move fast, I may, fall on the ground, or, I may stumble around. So he was imagining every sort of thing. Yeah, maybe I may fall, or maybe, something may happen to me. He was very careful in the room. Carefully examined the room. I inspected every article, one after the other. So he checked every article which was there in the room, one after the other. And still he did not find anything wrong. I went over to the window. So his next place was near the window. The large shutters were open. So I shut them with great care. So he made sure that he shut the windows, which were very, heavy, and they were made up of wood. He made sure that he shut them with great care. He closed them because he thought like my friends would, prank me through the windows. Yeah, that was also going on into his mind. That's the reason he closed all the windows and then drew the curtains. So he first shut the windows, and then he drew the curtains. And these curtains, they were enormous velvet curtains. They were made of velvet and they were very enormous. Enormous means they were very huge. And placed the chair in front of them. So he closed the windows, he put the curtains, and then the third thing that he did was placing the window, making sure that nothing can happen through the windows, so as to have nothing to fear from outside. So his fear from outside, now it was gone down. It was gone. Now he was sure that nothing could happen from outside, and now he had to take care, from inside, that nothing will go wrong. And I sat down cautiously, very, very carefully, taking great care. He sat down. The armchair was solid. So here, before sitting on the armchair, he made sure that the armchair is, not broken from any side, and it is solid. I did not dare to go into the bed. And he did not have the courage. He did not have that heart to go into the bed. Now see, he was sure that the whole room was clear. Now only thing left was the bed. So now he wanted to make sure that nothing is there. If anything is there on the bed also, he wanted to make sure that it is, removed instantly. So now he was sure that rest of the things are okay. The prank must be on the bed now. So he was very careful now. He was having many thoughts in his mind what to do. Okay. However, the night was advancing, and finally I came to the conclusion that I was being foolish. So the night was advancing. That means it was becoming, darker, and it was almost, midnight, and he was feeling sleepy. And one time he got, it struck his mind that he may be fool. He may be acting foolish. I was certain that my friends are spying on me. The next moment, again the negative point came into his mind. He was sure that his friends are spying on him, waiting for the success of whatever joke they have prepared. And now he was sure that his friends were waiting for the success of the joke that they have prepared. But in that case, they must have been laughing their heads at my terror. So he thought, then if his friends are waiting outside, they must be waiting, for the prank to happen, and they must be waiting and laughing, laughing at the prank that they have planned. Just thinking of the terror that he was going through. So he says that I could not let them have so much fun at my expense. So I made up my mind to go to bed. So again, this is all just his imagination. Okay, children, we will continue our chapter in the next part of the video. I suggest you all to read the lesson at least 2 times, and we will find out what will happen to the speaker in the next part of the video. Take care, everyone.